If you're preparing for the Azure DevOps Expert certification, Module 1 is your foundation. Let's break down design and implement processes, the concepts that appear in 10 to 15% of exam questions. Question 1. A company has created a new project in Azure DevOps for a web application. The company currently uses ServiceNow for change and release management. The company wants to ensure a change request is processed before any changes are released to production. Which of the following are two ways that ServiceNow can be integrated into the Azure DevOps release pipeline? The options are A. Create a deployment control that invokes the ServiceNow SOAP API. B. Create a deployment control that invokes the ServiceNow REST API C. Ensure a post-deployment gate is defined after the deployment to the QA stage. D. Ensure a pre-deployment gate is defined before the deployment to the production stage. This question tests your knowledge of Azure DevOps release pipeline gates and how they integrate with external change management systems like ServiceNow. The key requirement is ensuring a change request is processed before production deployment. The correct answer is ensure a post-deployment gate is defined after the deployment to the QA stage. Ensure a pre-deployment gate is defined before the deployment to the production stage. The two correct answers involve using deployment gates at strategic points in the release pipeline to integrate with ServiceNow's change management process. Why these gates work together? 1. Post-deployment gate after QA stage. After successfully deploying to the QA environment, a post-deployment gate can automatically create or update a ServiceNow change request. This initiates the change management process by creating a new change request in ServiceNow with deployment details, updating the change request status to indicate QA deployment completion, triggering the approval workflow in ServiceNow. This gate essentially says, QA deployment is complete. Now start the change approval processes in ServiceNow. 2. Pre-deployment gate before production stage. Before deploying to the production environment, a pre-deployment gate checks ServiceNow to verify that a change request exists for this release. It must be approved by ServiceNow team. All ServiceNow approval workflows are complete. The change request has been reviewed and approved by the appropriate stakeholders. The release pipeline will wait at this gate until the ServiceNow change request is approved. This gate enforces, don't deploy to production until ServiceNow says it's approved. Why the API-focused options are incomplete. While gates do use the ServiceNow REST API behind the scenes, simply stating create a deployment control that invokes the REST API doesn't specify where or when in the pipeline this should happen. The gate options provide the complete solution by specifying both the integration mechanism, gates, and the strategic placement, post-QA and pre-production. Quick takeaway. To integrate ServiceNow change management with Azure DevOps releases, use a two-gate strategy. 1. Post-deployment gate after QA to initiate the change request, and 2. Pre-deployment gate before production to verify approval. This ensures no production deployment happens without proper change management approval. Question 2. A team is currently working on a repository in Azure Repos for managing all of the source code. There are a high number of feature requests that is making it difficult to follow the history of the changes to the master branch. You need to enforce a strategy that would allow consolidation of all commit histories, merge the changes into a single commit. You decide to implement a pull request template. Would this fulfill the requirement? The options are A, yes, B, no. This question tests whether you understand the difference between pull request templates, documentation, standardization, and merge strategies, how commits are combined. The requirements specifically ask for consolidating commits and merging into a single commit. This is about merge behavior, not PR documentation. The correct answer is no. No. A pull request template does not fulfill the requirement because it addresses the wrong problem. Here's why. What a pull request template actually does. A pull request template is a markdown file that provides a standardized structure for PR descriptions. It ensures team members include consistent information when creating pull requests, such as description of changes, testing performed, related work items, breaking changes, checklist items. It's purely a documentation and communication tool that improves PR quality and consistency, but it has zero impact on how commits are merged. What the requirement actually needs. The requirement asks for 1. Consolidation of all commit histories, combining multiple commits. 2. Merge changes into a single commit, creating one unified commit. This is achieved through merge strategies, specifically squash merging. Squash merge takes all commits from a feature branch, e.g., 10 commits with messages like fix typo, update logic, add tests, etc., and combines them into a single commit when merging to master. This creates a clean, linear history on the master branch where each feature appears as one commit. Quick takeaway: pull request templates standardize PR documentation, but don't control merge behavior. To consolidate commits into a single commit, you need to configure squash merge as your branch policy merge strategy, not implement a PR template. Question 3. A team is currently working on a repository in Azure Repos for managing all of the source code. There are a high number of feature requests that is making it difficult to follow the history of the changes to the master branch. You need to enforce a strategy that would allow consolidation of all commit histories, merge the changes into a single commit. You decide to implement a git fetch request. Would this fulfill the requirement? The options are A, yes, B, no. This is another variation testing whether you know the difference between basic git operations and merge strategies. The requirements remain the same. Consolidate commits into a single commit when merging to master. The correct answer is no. No, git fetch does not fulfill the requirement because it performs a completely different function that has nothing to do with consolidating or merging commits. What git fetch actually does: git fetch is a git command that downloads commits, files, and references from a remote repository into your local repository without modifying your working directory or current branch. Why this doesn't meet the requirements? The requirements specifically ask for 1. Consolidation of commit histories. Git fetch doesn't consolidate anything. 2. Merge changes into a single commit. Git fetch doesn't merge at all. Git fetch is purely a synchronization command for keeping your local repository aware of remote changes. It has zero capability to consolidate multiple commits into one. Question 4. Your team is setting up a DevOps environment on Azure. As part of the setup, several development environments are going to be spun up in Azure. Several Azure Resource Manager templates are going to be used to create the various development environments. You have to monitor all of the control plane events. You decide to use Azure Activity Logs for monitoring all of the control plane activities. Would this fulfill the requirement? The options are A, yes, B, no. This question tests your understanding of Azure Activity Logs and their purpose in monitoring control plane, management plane operations. The key term is control plane events, operations that manage Azure resources rather than operations within the resources. The correct answer is yes. Yes, Azure Activity Logs do fulfill the requirement because they are specifically designed to monitor control plane events. What Azure Activity Logs capture? Azure Activity Logs record subscription-level events that provide insight into operations performed on resources in your subscription. They specifically track control plane operations, including resource creation, updates, and deletions, ARM template deployment starts and completions, who initiated each operation, user identity, when operations occurred, timestamps, success or failure status of operations, resource group and subscription changes, role assignments and policy changes, service health events. Why this meets the requirement. 1. ARM template deployments are control plane operations. When you deploy ARM templates to create development environments, every resource creation, update, or deletion is a control plane operation that gets logged in activity logs. 2. Complete audit trail. Activity logs will capture when each ARM deployment was initiated, who triggered the deployment, which resources were created, modified, whether deployment succeeded or failed, changes to resource properties, deletion of resources. 3. Retention and analysis. Activity logs retain data for 90 days by default, can be exported to log analytics, storage accounts, or event hubs for longer retention. Support filtering and querying by resource, operation, timeframe, and user. Integrate with Azure Monitor for alerting and dashboards. Quick takeaway: Azure Activity Logs are designed specifically for monitoring control plane management operations at the subscription level. For ARM template deployments, creating development environments, Activity Logs will capture all resource creation, modification, and deletion events, providing complete visibility into control plane activities. Question 5. Which of the following in application insights would you use for the following requirement? Are page load times affecting a user's decision in continuing to use the application? The options are A, funnels, B, cohorts, C, impact, D, retention, E, user flows. This question tests your knowledge of application insights usage analytics tools and which one analyzes the relationship between performance metrics and user behavior. The key is identifying a tool that correlates performance, page load times, with user actions, continuing to use the app. The correct answer is impact. Impact is the correct feature because it's specifically designed to analyze how performance metrics like page load times affect user behavior and conversion. Why impact is the right tool? 1. Correlates performance with behavior. Impact analysis discovers how any dimension of a page view, custom event, or request affects the usage of a different page view or custom event. It answers questions like, how does the slowness in page load times correlate with whether users continue using the application? 2. Settles performance versus behavior debates. According to Microsoft documentation, Impact is the ultimate tool for settling arguments about how slowness in some aspect of your site is affecting whether users stick around. This directly addresses the question's requirement. 3. Analyzes conversion impact. Impact gives you insight into how to balance optimization and performance to maximize user conversion. You can see exactly whether faster page load times lead to better user engagement and retention. 4. Works with performance metrics. Impact allows you to select a performance metric like page load duration as the independent variable and a user behavior like continued usage, conversions, or specific events as the dependent variable, then calculates the correlation. Why the other options don't fit? Funnels. Track user progression through sequential steps and identify drop-off points, but don't correlate performance metrics with behavior. User flows. Visualize navigation paths users take through the app, but don't analyze performance impact. Cohorts. Group users by shared characteristics for analysis, but don't measure performance to behavior correlation. Retention. Track how often users return to the app over time, but don't specifically analyze what factors, like page load times, influence retention. Quick takeaway. When you need to understand if a performance metric, page load time, response time, etc., is influencing user behavior or conversions, use the impact feature in Application Insights. It provides correlation analysis that directly answers, does performance metric X affect user action Y? To get the free PDF or mock test, comment PDF or mock or both. I will share the downloadable link within the next 24 hours.